Hi, Assalamualaikum. Our group will be presenting about Michael Porter's diamond model, or also known as the theory of national competitive advantage of industries. Okay, what is this theory? This is a diamond-shaped framework that focuses on explaining why certain industries within a particular nation are competitive internationally, whereas others might not. Porter argues that any company's ability to compete in the international arena is based mainly on an interrelated set of location advantages that certain industries in different nations possess, which are firm strategy, structure and rivalry, factor conditions, demand conditions, and related and supporting industries. There are four main components and also two components that are often included in this model, which are the role of the government and chance. So for the first component, which is firm strategy, structure and rivalry, this means that the national context in which companies operate largely determines how companies are created, organized and managed. It affects their strategy and how they structure themselves. And domestic rivalry is instrumental to international competitiveness since it forces companies to develop unique and sustainable strengths and capabilities. So the more intense domestic rivalry is, the more companies are being pushed to innovate and improve in order to maintain their competitive advantage. So for example, a good example for this would be the automobile Japanese industry, with intense rivalry between players such as Suzuki, Mitsubishi, Nissan, and Honda because of their domestic competitiveness. So they become more able to compete in the international market as well. And for the next component is chance. Even though Porter originally didn't write anything about chance or luck in his papers, the role of chance is often included in the diamond model as the likelihood that external events such as war and natural disasters can negatively affect or benefit a country or industry. However, it also includes random events such as where and when fundamental scientific breakthroughs occur. So these events are beyond the control of the government or individual companies. So Baihaki will move on to the next component, which is factor conditions.
Move to the next one, which is factor conditions. It refers to the natural capital and human resource available in those countries or the borders. There are natural and created factors in these factor conditions. For the natural factor, the example is natural resources, where the country has oil and gas resources or coal. And for the created factor, which is human resource, the example is the country has a skilled labor forces, have a really good infrastructures and things like that. And in this component, Porter also argue that especially these created factor conditions are more important based compared to the natural factors conditions that are already present in the country. And it's important that the created factor conditions are continuously upgraded through the development of skills and the creation of the new knowledge. Okay, in these components, Porter says that one of the major reasons why some country have a better and competitive industry compared to the other countries is due to the country have natural resources, such as we can see Saudi Arabia has a lot of the oil and gas resources. That's why Saudi Arabia becomes one of the main export in the oil and gas industry. And aside from the natural factor, we cannot there are created factors such as skilled labor force. We can see this from the from Japan, where Japan has a really good automobile industry and is supported by the skilled labor force, where the citizens are really advanced in the technology. And for the next one, which is demand conditions, the home demand largely affects how favorable industries within a certain nations are. A larger market means more challenges, but also creates opportunities to grow and become better as a company. And the presence of sophisticated demand conditions from the local customer always push the companies to grow, innovate, and improve their quality, and striving to satisfy a demanding domestic markets propel companies to scale new heights and possi- possibly gain early insights into the future needs of the customer across the borders. This means that with the demand condition component, uh, it means when a certain company or a market have a lot of demand, it the market will become more competitive, and the companies that joining the market will start to innovate new creations, start to improve the quality of the product they have, and if the market is support by the local local citizens, it will boost their creativity, and also they are able to export their products to the international market. That's for the demand condition. Okay, move to the related and supporting industry that will be presented by Asri.
Alright, I will be presenting the related and supporting industries. So primary industries like giant industries like automobile, agriculture, and technological industries need supporting industries to function effectively and efficiently, both in human labor and financial standpoint. Therefore, if we take example, Apple, I'm going to use Apple for example. Now they are primarily a tech company which produce mobile devices like smartphones, tablets, and personal computers. But in order to function effectively from the financial perspective and both product development and human labor perspective, they need supporting industries like semiconductor providers, screen manufacturers, all the supporting components that goes into all their technologies to be manufactured outside their company in order to increase their effectiveness and efficiency. Therefore, Porter's argued that the more supporting industries and related industries rise in particular country, the more the primary industries will thrive. Therefore, countries which has solid foundation of these supporting industries naturally have bigger competitive advantage over countries that does not have them. Now, let's move on to the next, which is the government, the next component. So Porter's argue, or he truly believes that there is no such thing as free market, and I would have to agree, because the government function as both the catalyst and the challenger. So to understand this more easier, we can categorize the government as being a facilitator towards the economic growth in a particular country. The government need to encourage the growth of businesses within its economical system, because the more business that are established and successful, the more money will circulate in the country and the more thriving the economy will be. Therefore, now this encouragement is not like the word like I believe in you or I know you can do it. No. So this encouragement is in the form of like tax law benefits, and also the incentives, cash incentives and price incentives, and also the programs, educational programs that the government organizes in order to stimulate the economy and encourage the citizens within the country to participate in entrepreneurship and consumer behavior. Therefore, Porter's argue, and I would agree, that the government played a huge role in giving its country a huge competitive advantage over other countries.